What is up, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business builders, and dream makers? Welcome to the Study Your Side Hustle Podcast, episode 78. It's great to be back in your earbuds once again, as we are every single day of the work week. Happy Friday to those of you who are listening on schedule. Happy whatever day of the week it is for the rest of y'all. So glad that you took the time to be with us today. Today, I want to share a story with you. It is one of the biggest and most impactful stories of my business career to date. And so with that being said, let's get into it. So a lot of you already know that the first really successful business that I ever had in my career was one where I was selling leads to roofers. That was explicitly what we did. We worked only with roofers and we sold them leads. So we could call it a digital marketing agency, but it was a lead gen agency. That's what we specialized in. So during this time, I had a client that I would consider to be a whale of a client. And the way that I describe a whale is if more than 30% of your revenue is coming from one client, then that client is a whale. Basically, you can't afford to lose them. You have way too high concentration risk with that one client. And in those early days, I was pretty young. I don't know, probably 21 years old. And I had not yet learned that lesson. This is how I learned that lesson. And the crazy thing is, if a whale is more than 30%, then this was a mega super whale because they were responsible for like 80% of our revenue at the time that we were working with them. So what happened was we would sell leads, and we would sell leads at a specific price, and we would say this is what we charge per lead. You pay for it up front because our unique approach to lead gen, we actually require that budget. Everything is specific to you. We don't share the leads with anybody else, and therefore it is a unique budget per client. So they would pay up front. We would use that money to get the leads. And generally speaking, we got leads at about a 50% profit margin. So it would cost us 50% of what we charged them to get the results we promised them. That was about our range. And then, we had our own ad spend that we used to get our own clients. We had a small team, so we had to pay them. We had a closer, we had to pay the closer. So we were operating on reasonable but not huge margins, and not tiny margins either. But this was our largest client, and we did have other clients too. So at the end of the month, after we've delivered all the leads that we promised them, we've done our job. I got a voicemail from this client, and the voicemail said explicitly, "Hey, nothing against you. What you did exactly what you promised. So we got the service as intended, and I just want a refund." That was what the voicemail said. He said, "You did your job. I would like a refund." And so my response to him was, yeah, if you look over our contract, you agreed that you are not entitled to a refund. We did our job. We gave the deliverable. You are not entitled to a refund. And so what this client did from there is they went and they filed a chargeback dispute with their bank. They went to their credit card and they said, "Hey, I want to dispute this charge." And so then the bank does an investigation. And the way they do that is the money is taken from our account while the investigation is being done. And if they find that we are not at fault, they will give the money back. So when the money is taken from our account at the end of the month after we provided the service, we ended up $3,000 negative in that bank account. And from there, I submit in the dispute case, I submit the contract showing that they agreed to this. I submit the evidence of work done. I show how we got the leads, how we generated them, the proof of the leads. And then I submit the voicemail from the client admitting that they got the service as promised. Submit all those things. I'm like, we're a shoo-in. We're going to win this case and we're going to move forward. And well, what happens? Somehow we don't win the case. They side with the client, and we're not at a point in this time when we can pursue any legal action. So that's where the buck has to stop on that one. And that's really unfortunate because now we have a client who we provided the service for. We have proof that we provided the service for them. They agreed that we provided the service for them, and they got all their money back. So now we are $3,000 negative. We don't have the money to keep going with how we are getting our new clients. We don't have the money to fulfill for some of our clients. We're kind of dead in the water. And $3,000 is not an insane amount of money. And this is why they almost won. This guy tried to kill my business. I don't know what he had against us. I don't know what his problem was. I'll never know. And I have to accept the fact that I will never know. But that was an active intent towards destroying our business. That was, for some reason, not liking us on a personal level that was never disclosed, because you don't admit that you got a service as promised and then file a chargeback dispute. You don't sign a contract agreeing that you are not entitled to a refund and then file a chargeback dispute. So it almost worked, because at the time I had a business partner, and the business partner quit and went back into corporate America. And I spent like 6 months licking my wounds. What we ended up doing was we ended up closing down the agency. We ended up taking out a loan for the $3,000, and we ended up paying that back eventually. And that kind of was the end of that chapter. And now I look back at that, I'm like, we should not have done what we did in response. We should have taken out the loan. We should have kept going. But even with my business partner quitting, I should have taken out a loan and I should have kept going. That would have been the correct course of action. But at the time, I was young, I was naive, I was scared, and I was depressed off of this. I spent 6 months licking my wounds, feeling like a complete failure, having no idea what I should do in my life. And eventually I realized, yes, I am actually an entrepreneur. I'm actually a business owner. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to brush it off. I'm going to keep moving forward. But it took 6 months, and I never went back to lead gen. So I share this story with you because I'm hoping, one, maybe it can be entertaining to you. Two, maybe you can learn something from it. So the things that I've learned from this are that to be a business owner, to be an entrepreneur, means you find a way to be bigger than your problems, whatever they are. When you get bigger than your problems get bigger. You get bigger than those problems, your problems get bigger. That's the game. And as a result, when you look back, you're miles ahead of where you ever thought you would ever be. You see that getting bigger than your problems is a direct path to increasing your revenue. Getting bigger than your problems is a direct path to increasing your bottom line, to changing your life and getting the lifestyle that you want and that you deserve. You don't do that by licking your wounds for 6 months and cowering. You do that by, when a problem like that comes up, figuring it out and moving forward. And that's basically the only options you have as an entrepreneur. You either quit or you figure it out. If you quit, then you only have yourself to blame for not getting the results that you wanted. If you figure it out, then you're better for it and you get bigger. Bigger problems mean you're doing more things right. So that's what I have for you guys today. I'm going to go enjoy my weekend. I hope you go enjoy yours. I'll be in your earbuds once again on Monday morning or Monday afternoon, whenever I post on Monday. Love you guys so much. God bless.